proven it's better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. You are taking a live look at Iowa Park, Texas, near the Wichita Falls area, and you can see the ominous skies above, and look at that. You know, really, Texas, Oklahoma, even as far north as Minnesota has tornado warnings on them now. So, of course, we are seeing a very scary night. Some of these tornadoes, it is dark. They are rain-wrapped in an inundation of rain. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with us with our continuing coverage of severe weather. The outbreak in the plains, all the way from the southern plains to the upper Midwest. I'm meteorologist Alexandra Steele, and there is lots to get to. Here's a look where the watches are. This is the tornado watch. Of course, we do have tornado warnings from Texas, Oklahoma, as far north as Minnesota. But in addition to that, and within that confined area, we do have tornado watches as well, all the way from Omaha south toward Texas. So lots to get to tonight. Of course, Dr. Greg Forbes is here analyzing it all. All right, Greg, where are you starting?
Well, I'm going to start big and then work my way down, Alexander. They were showing some video of a big wall cloud hanging down like a layer of a layer cake. The atmosphere has all sorts of counterclockwise rotations. That wall cloud is the rotating updraft of the thunderstorm. Then we go real big scale, and we have a big rotation that is part of this big upper low, and there's some little spins within that. One of them going south. There's been one that's harder to see that's come east and blasted, caused these big high-top thunderstorms from Kansas down into Texas. They're the ones that show up orange and red. And then there's additional features on the east side of this upper low that are running north with the big thunderstorms in the Twin Cities, or I should say in the Minnesota area, might work their way to the Twin Cities. So in that last block, I was off trying to update the T-storm outlook and the Torcon. So here's the threat in the red shaded areas, still Minnesota, and still down to at least the eastern parts of the rest of these states, down into Oklahoma and Texas, might get to Dallas, and maybe as far as Arkansas overnight. Have updated the Torcon, south central Oklahoma, north central Texas, now the 7 area. That's where all of our storms are that have the supercells. And I'm not able to click to the next one. Let's see if I can manually force it to advance to the north here. There we go, I think. I'm not sure what's happening here. My graphics won't advance. I'm going to skip that one. I have a Torcon of 6 there up into the northern areas, the parts of Minnesota. Let's jump down here to the storms. Down to 2 storms now with tornado warnings on them in southern, the red shaded storms there in south central and right along the Red River there on the Texas-Oklahoma border. The northern of the storms we've been watching, it has given 2 cycles of tornadoes. Now it is once again gusted out as it comes into the amber area. Severe thunderstorm warning for Canadian, Grady, and McLean counties. But look here, that line of thunderstorms, Norman and Oklahoma City, you're under severe thunderstorm warning. And should it re-intensify again, it would be this Tabler, Blanchard, Norman area where that could be a new tornado. That's where the circulations have been in the past. So the times you see there in the box at the lower in the lower right. Wanted to jump up to that particular storm here, and here's what it looks like. We're up into the Chickasha area now. We've lost a lot of our rotation. I'll take a look and ask, is there any rotation left in this storm that's coming toward the Norman area? Not really seeing that. So while I have this high-resolution radar up, I'll jump down to the storm next down the line. It's not quite as well-defined a hook as it had been, but still you can see there near the central high area some counterclockwise swirling. And while that's why we have the Doppler radar, because there's still a tornado vortex signature there in the area just to the west of central high. Oh, it's gotten itself to the back edge of the line now, so it's transforming from a supercell to a bow echo as well. And this storm down to the south, the third one down, no question that it is still a well-defined supercell thunderstorm that hooks itself around, and with the inflow comes in this way. So the tornado likes to sit in the interface between these, and let's take a look and see how strong the rotation is now showing up here. Broad rotation, fairly decent rotation, green going northbound, red's going southbound. There's another circulation here down a little bit to the south. Let's see what's going on there. That's the next storm down the line. So we have one supercell tornado warned. The next one down the line, we might get a tornado warning out of that one as well. We'll have to monitor that one and see what happens. Tracking some of the progress and tracking some of these storms, the second storm, or the northern now of the tornado warned storm across Comanche, Grady, and Stevens counties, tracking that one out toward the Hope, Oklahoma area about 9:01, and the southern storm that is now east of Ranelagh, east of Burke Burnett, riding the Red River there, Clay, Cotton, and Wichita counties. That one tracking forward is coming toward the Waurika, Oklahoma area about 9:15. Farther up to the north, you see that line of thunderstorms is now severe warned coming across El Reno, I-40 into the Oklahoma City area. Could be hail damaging winds with that. Additional storms blasting now through the Wichita area have gone non-severe, and thunderstorms non-severe are blasting across the Kansas City area. But need to remind that anytime you get thunderstorms, even if they aren't severe, lightning is potentially deadly, and there's a lot of lightning that is coming through these storms across the Kansas City area. So when thunder roars, go indoors and avoid electrical appliances, anything that has cords with it that could telephones or electrical devices, and avoid the plumbing, anything that could bring lightning from outside the house inside the house. Alexandra?
All right, thank you so much, Greg. You know, talk about lightning. We were just looking at it, and also in Randlett, Oklahoma, and also in our other live shot, you could see this lightning. And talk about lightning deadly when it roars, go indoors. We've seen an awful lot of lightning with these storms. So from Oklahoma to Kansas, and let's head now even farther north to Minnesota, and that's where Carl's going to pick it up. And Carl, we do have tornado warnings there as well.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of tornado warnings here, as a matter of fact. A bunch of storms have rotated in the last few hours in west central Minnesota, and that's right along a warm front. And I want to show you what's going on with the surface winds here. So your winds are coming out of the south of that warm front. Then to the north of that boundary, they're coming more out of the east-southeast. So that's a horizontal wind shear, and what that does is create a pre-existing area of vorticity or spin in the atmosphere, and storms tap into that and begin to rotate. So right as they come up into that interface, that's where they're rotating. We've seen that all along that 94 corridor, especially just south of 94 over the last few hours, and there is a new tornado warning to tell you about, and that's in effect for Stearns County coming right up towards 94. Let's take a look inside the storm, and the tornado is likely to be right there near Kimball. And in addition to that, we're not getting a great look at it because of the position of the radar, but we are seeing a big surge of wind as well coming around the storm, and that's going to move up right into 94, into South Haven, into Annandale. So wind and then a possible tornado near Kimball. Right now, we're not seeing any evidence of debris. We really have not seen any evidence of debris along with this warning for as long as it's been around. This particular cell has been warned on for a while, but certainly there's potential for a tornado there. Now, much farther south, down into Texas, looking at a string of storms, and what this string is going to do is it's going to congeal into a big fat line of storms, and it's going to move down through Dallas, Fort Worth, right along I-35, Waco, Killeen, Austin. All of those areas are going to see strong storms more towards the overnight and early tomorrow morning. Right now, they're a little more discombobulated, but there is certainly a wind and hail threat. There's a warning right now around the Abilene area, just a little farther east. Shackelford County under warning. Also a warning here right into the Abilene area proper, and that's right along I-20. That's going until 9 o'clock. And so primarily what we're looking at here is a hail threat. Could be large hail, maybe $half size hail, or even larger golf ball size hail, and damaging wind. And again, these storms are going to begin to pool their outflow, as we say, that cool air that comes out of the base of the storm. That is going to form new storms as it pushes along. There will be new development all along the leading edge of that cold pool, and that's going to bring this line most likely here into the western part of Dallas and Fort Worth later tonight, probably towards midnight near Mineral Wells at around 10:25, and near midnight getting into Denton. Then another big day for severe weather tomorrow. All the weather that we're seeing today is going to lift up and into the Midwest. Alex, over to you.
Yeah, Carl, in places like Chicago and Minneapolis and Kansas City and St. Louis. So over 20 million impacted by severe weather tomorrow. But of course, before we get to that, we've got tonight to deal with. We've got tornado warnings all the way from Oklahoma to Kansas to Texas, and again, even as far north as Minnesota. So lots to get to tonight. When we come back, of course, more on the severe weather threat. Who is in imminent danger tonight? That's after the break.
Lennox makes the most energy efficient system you can find. which means the appliance you use the most will also save you the most.
For more information, contact your local Lennox dealer.
You wouldn't buy a car without taking it for a spin. And it's, well, just a car. Test drive our full lineup, only at your local John Deere dealer.
Joseph A. Bank presents the Summer Stock-Up Sale. Suits starting at $149. Executive shirts and ties, Stays Cool sportswear, and Traveler sports shirts and polos, 3 for $99. Sale ends Monday. Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hang Up Tires.
It's your thing! No matter how you want to lose weight, you can do it fast with delicious, nutritious Slim Fast. Shake it off, blend it off, drink it off. Just take it off and keep it off. However you want to lose the weight, rich, protein-packed Slim Fast controls your hunger up to 4 hours. Clinically proven to work and work fast. It's your thing! See results in just 1 week. Losing weight has never been easier. With Slim Fast, it's your thing.
It's nearly Memorial Day, so hurry into Lowe's for these great deals, like $10 off select deck and concrete resurfacers via online or mail-in rebate, plus 10% off composite decking. So before this Memorial Day, come to Lowe's and enjoy special savings.
If you're an adult with type 2 diabetes and your A1C is not at goal with certain diabetes pills or daily insulin, your doctor may be talking about adding medication to help lower your A1C. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Once-a-week Tanzium is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes, along with diet and exercise. Once-a-week Tanzium works by helping your body release its own natural insulin when it's needed. Tanzium is not recommended as the first medicine to treat diabetes or in people with severe stomach or intestinal problems. Tanzium is not insulin. It is not used to treat type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis and has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Do not take Tanzium if you or your family have a history of medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Tanzium or any of its ingredients. Stop using Tanzium and call your doctor right away if you experience symptoms of a serious allergic reaction, which may include itching, rash, or difficulty breathing. If you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe stomach pain that will not go away and may move to your back, with or without vomiting. Or if you have symptoms of thyroid cancer, which include a lump or swelling in your neck, hoarseness, trouble swallowing, or shortness of breath. Before using Tanzium, talk to your doctor about your medical conditions, all medicines you're taking, if you're nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant, and about low blood sugar and how to manage it. Taking Tanzium with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects with Tanzium include diarrhea, nausea, injection site reactions, cough, back pain, and cold or flu symptoms. Some serious side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney failure. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Go to Tanzium.com to learn if you may be eligible to receive Tanzium free for 12 months. Make every week a Tanzium week.
In a matter of seconds, your life can change.
We're kids still went to school.
And it just hit us.
This was it. The Weather Channel's most watched original program is back.
Things were just going everywhere. It was a nightmare. And then it was silent.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. I'm meteorologist Alexandra Steele, and boy, do we have a severe weather update to talk about, really all the way from Texas north to Minnesota. We've got severe weather, and we've got tornadoes and tornado warnings, and a lot of these storms we've seen have cycled, and they've also gone tornado just recently as well. So let's start with the 3 storms. Within Oklahoma, there's 3, so let's go south to north, and we begin here. You can see tornado warning here for Clay, Cotton, and Wichita. This goes until 8:45 6:45 local time. Wichita Falls, you can see that moving eastward. As we head farther north, Comanche, Grady, Stevens, we've been talking about this throughout the night. Cities including Central High, U2 until 9:15 local time. That too moving eastward. Again, now look at all the lightning. Now, lightning has been severe today. We've certainly seen an awful lot of it, and you can see it all moving. And the problem is it's getting dark. These storms are rain wrapped. We're seeing an inundation with rain, and even really up to baseball-sized hail potentially. So there's the potential for a lot of hail, some very strong winds, and rain and flooding, especially as we head through portions of Kansas. So here's where the tornado is here in Pottawatomie County, including Johnson, Shawnee. Again, until 9 o'clock tonight, you can see all these storms pushing eastward. This line just west of Oklahoma City, that line already has had tornadoes with it. It is moving eastward. No warnings on that one now, but again, it is quite a strong line of some severe weather. Now we go all the way as far north along a warm front in Minnesota. Here's where this tornado warning is in Stearns County, and you can see just south of St. Cloud, and you can see here's this storm kind of moving north and eastward, maybe about 25 to 35 miles per hour. An awful lot of lightning with it as well. So really a really rough night and a scary one, and these storms really seem to kind of be coalescing and moving eastward and getting more severe as the night progresses. You know, we talk about SLIM, S-L-I-M. What it is an acronym, and we use it for the ingredients of severe weather. It stands for shear, lift, instability, and moisture, everything we need for a night like this to develop, and we've got it. Meteorologist Mike Bettis now has this dynamic, in-depth look at instability and what it means.
Instability, one of the more complex ingredients that goes into severe weather. And to understand it, we have to first understand the temperature profile of the atmosphere. And generally speaking, temperatures decrease with height, but it's the environmental lapse rate we're most interested in. And what that means is how quickly do temperatures cool as you go up? Well, generally speaking, the more gradual that is, the more stable the atmosphere. In a stable atmosphere, we take a warm, moist parcel of air near the surface and lift it. In this instance, this parcel of air cools at the same rate or faster than the air around it, meaning no clouds form or just fair weather clouds. But now let's talk about an unstable atmosphere. Our environmental lapse rate is dramatic, meaning temperatures cool quickly with height. So let's take that same parcel of air and lift it through the atmosphere. It now cools at a much slower rate than the atmosphere around it. It continues to lift, build clouds, and even thunderstorms. But there is one catch, and it's known as the cap, a warm layer in the atmosphere that keeps our parcel of air from lifting. If we have enough surface heating and we break through that cap, then explosive thunderstorms form. And it's these thunderstorms that are most likely to form tornadoes.
All right, thanks, Mike. And boy, have we had it, right, Slim? No question about it. We have had all those ingredients. But, you know, one ingredient we're really seeing a lot of, it's the rain. We've seen so much rain, and, of course, we've got flooding. Now, this rain isn't really drought busters because the ground is so saturated. It saturates and then floods, and that's what we've seen, a lot of it. All right, so here's Dallas, Texas, of course, one of those areas. Norman, Oklahoma, the second wettest May on record, and we're not even done with May. So here's this weekend severe. Of course, Dallas is in it tonight and into tomorrow. You can see throughout the night and even again by tomorrow afternoon. So a lot of storms there, and of course the flood threat is there as well with the amount of rain that we've seen. So how much rain? Well, of course, flash flood watches, Oklahoma City, Dallas, Waco down to San Antonio. And now how much rain do we need to flood? But it's not a lot. Look at some of these numbers. Less than 2 inches in Oklahoma City, Amarillo, San Antonio, 3 toward Houston. We've seen 3 times that amount. So some of these storms dropping an incredible amount of rain. So we've got the rain to drop, no question about it. So flooding, we've seen it and we will continue to see it. And here's Dallas, the total rain through tomorrow morning and the flash flood watch is in effect. And of course, that's what we're going to see because we've got so much rain coming into some of these areas. So we'll talk more about the flooding concerns. And even when we get to Mike Bettis in Wichita, he'll talk about the rain that they've seen. And it's a bigger threat there tonight than even probably severe weather. So also, here's some advice to keep you weather ready during a tornado as well tonight.
良質 熟練の技、革新、1000年の歴史を持つ文化が最先端の製造技術を使うと、待てよ、あれ？これってクライスラー？
Reliability is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import. Find it at Chrysler.com.
When you're living with diabetes, steady is exciting. Only Glucerna has Carb Steady, clinically proven to help minimize blood sugar spikes. Make it part of your daily diabetes plan, so you stay.
Anna, Tom, what can I help you find today?
We are repainting, but our kids are tough on walls.
I totally get it. You need Valspar. It's our best paint. It'll stand up to the wildest play dates.
That is exactly what we need.
Do not hit your brother.
And you know, with the Valspar color guarantee, if you don't like the color, you get a new one free.
What?
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Change color for free?
We've been doing that for years. Hey, Val, check it out. Hey, Val.
I see you, honey.
Getting help at the paint studio at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
1 can of Bush's beans. Home style sounds good, but country style not without its charms. Brown sugar hickory? Who says no to hickory? New sweet heat? Sure. There are no rules here.
Bush's Beans. What's your favorite flavor?
To you, they're more than just a pet, so protect them with K9 Advantix 2. Its broad spectrum protection kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, too. K9 Advantix 2, for the love of dog.
Constant Contact gives you all the best email marketing tools, like newsletters and event invites. So whether you run a small business or a nonprofit, you can connect with, well, everyone. Try email marketing free at ConstantContact.com.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
And if you were watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
Only Sears brings you more selection with all top 10 appliance brands. Like Kenmore, the most awarded brand in the industry. And when life happens, more peace of mind with service that's #1 nationwide. That's more performance from the #1 appliance store. Start your search at Sears.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. We are live looking right now at Amber, Oklahoma. Oklahoma certainly has been under the threat during the last few hours for tornadoes. We've seen plenty of them, and also an awful lot of lightning and winds and even hail and some very heavy rain. So from Oklahoma to Texas to Kansas to Minnesota, really, tornadoes to speak of, tornado warnings as well. So with the very latest now, let's go to Greg.
And we still have several tornado warnings in the Oklahoma, Texas area. Thanks, Alexandra. Here's the big picture. Big spinning upper low. Now, it's usually the east side of that encounters the warm, moist Gulf of Mexico air, and that's been the case today. But there's been some little sub-rotations. Can you see one come across New Mexico there? There it is at the very end, spinning its way into southwest Kansas. The east flanks of that one have been the one that have lit up this line of thunderstorms from the Wichita area across, getting close to Oklahoma City now and down into parts of Texas. The jet stream going north into the Twin Cities or into Minnesota area has fired up severe thunderstorms there as well. And this action is kind of the severe threat area tonight, especially the Minnesota area and especially these Oklahoma, maybe Arkansas and Texas areas, the most active, isolated in the rest of the area. So some updates from the earlier. I've given a Torcon of 7 for south central Oklahoma, north central parts of Texas, probably still 6 for eastern parts of Oklahoma, and then a 6 for the parts of western Minnesota. It's mostly 3s for the areas in between there in the red shaded areas. Now, right now, isolated supercell is formed east of Oklahoma City with a tornado warning, and one of these storms we've been following down along the Red River there, the Texas-Oklahoma border, still with tornado warnings and a big line of thunderstorms with damaging wind possibilities all the way across from north to south across central Oklahoma. Let's start with a tornado warning. This is east of the Oklahoma City area. It's going north, whereas most of the storms are going eastbound. This one, Pottawatomie County, Johnson, Shawnee, Tecumseh areas. It's getting close to the area just to the east of Bethel Acres, heading up toward Neal, Johnson, the Payson areas. Meeker, probably about 9:08 as this storm, whoa, what happened there? A little bit of a computer glitch. I'm not sure what did that. We'll take a look then. The thunderstorms blasting their way right into the Norman, the Oklahoma City areas. In a moment, we'll talk to our Catherine Prosiv, who's in Oklahoma City. But first, we need to get farther down the line. This storm had a tornado warning on it east of Lawton. It's now severe warning for Garvin, Grady, and Stevens counties. But we still do have down along the Red River there a storm that is getting more complex. It's had a couple of hook echoes on that. The northern one weakened, the southern one formed Cotton, Jefferson, Stevens counties. Let's go to the high definition radar. Well, first we'll track this one. That hook has really started to surge forward, maybe gusting out. But if it holds together and gets any new tornadoes, Waurika about 9:15, Ringling, Oklahoma about 9:43. Now we'll go to the high definition radar and take a look. And here is the situation. It is, I think, gusting out a little bit. It's got a little bit of a kink there. But let's take a look and see. We've been surprised a couple of times today when we look in the velocities and see that there's still some pretty strong rotation. And that is strongest right in about there, going to head into the area off toward the Waurika area. So evidence is that it's gusting out, with this being a warm inflow, but still the possibility of a tornado coming out of this storm. So high precipitation supercell now changing character pretty quickly. I mentioned storms rolling all the way across Oklahoma from the Oklahoma City area up into Ponca City with severe thunderstorm warnings. And thunderstorms no longer severe rolling across Kansas City and also across the Wichita area, but with lots of lightning. Look at that, 567 strikes across the Kansas City metro area in the past 15 minutes. And we'll go now, we'll talk on the phone to Catherine Prosiv, one of our weather producers here at the Weather Channel, is in Oklahoma City. Can you hear me, Catherine?
Hi, Dr. Forbes. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
And what are you seeing there? What have you seen today, and what are you seeing right now?
So right now, we are coming into the backside, or the western side of the metro, the backside of the thunderstorms. We're going to kind of punch through them west to east. We're on I-40, and we're seeing incredible lightning. It's very, very frequent, and it's spidering across the sky. We're right now, actually, I-40 right near Calumet, Oklahoma, just west of El Reno. So we're coming into it. But, yeah, we're seeing a lot of lightning. We're hearing reports of absolutely torrential and blinding rainfall in the metro. I looked at the flash flood guidance, and, I mean, less than 2 inches in 1 hour will cause the city to experience flooding. We know how much rain they've had this month already. So that's what we're tracking into the metro right now. As far as earlier today, we were chasing the dry line storms in the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles, and we saw a few funnel clouds and just some beautiful structure and some beautiful color, but no tornadoes out that way. As you know, the big tornadoes have been in southwest Oklahoma, and also there was one in northern Oklahoma as well.
Indeed. I'll come right back to you, Catherine. I suggest maybe in the control room you could put max 8 in. I've overlapped the lightning. Catherine was talking about the lightning. I've overlapped all the lightning that's coming into the Oklahoma City metro area. So, Catherine, then what is your plan? We're seeing your live screen now. We're seeing some in-cloud lightning there. There's a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning also showing up on in our devices here that we can monitor. What's your plan for the rest of the evening?
So our plan is to continue eastbound and punch through this line. We know there's that new tornado watch that was issued for the northeast portion of the state, including Tulsa. And so we're headed that way, and we'll just keep an eye on these storms as they continue to head east. We know they're headed into a favorable environment. And there's that isolated supercell that you just discussed near Tecumseh, where we saw pictures of students taking shelter in the hallways. Apparently, it's their prom tonight in Tecumseh, so all the students are taking shelters near the lockers. So we're going to continue eastbound and see what we can find throughout the evening.
Well, good luck, Catherine, and thanks for talking to us. There are additional individualized storms that are out ahead of that line that, if they intensify, they too could become tornadic, but they're flying north at 40, 45 miles per hour. So it's a tough night to be trying to chase these kind of individualized storms when some of them may be developing and moving right to you. It's not as if the thunderstorms are very isolated out there ahead of that main line. So good luck, Catherine, and stay safe. Let's go now to Alexandra and Carl.
All right, you know, Greg, you spoke of night, and you could see from those pictures it is dark, and tornadoes become even more dangerous at night. And for more on keeping your family safe after the sun goes down, here's Julie Martin.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
They are terrifying even in broad daylight. When a tornado hits in the middle of the night, there's little time to think. Harrisburg, Illinois is a perfect example. A tornado struck in the early morning hours on February 29th, 2012, killing 8.
Of course, we were sleeping, thinking, okay, we got to get up in the morning and go to work.
Alice Retzloff and her family survived thanks to her daughter. She'd stayed up all night following the radar and warnings on TV.
She came in about 4:30 and said, okay, we got to get in the basement. It's headed for us.
Remaining vigilant overnight is the best way to stay safe. You can't rely on a tornado siren to jar you from sleep. There's no national requirement for sirens, and many areas don't have them. Having a NOAA weather radio or signing up for wireless alerts, even push notifications from the Weather Channel app can help keep you safe. Being ready for this next severe system is critical, so go over your family's weather plan now. If you don't have a basement, be sure to seek shelter in a small, windowless first-floor interior room like a closet or bathroom.
All right, Julie, thank you. We want to take a look at the severe storms coming up into the northern plains and also across the Lone Star State. It's going to be a very stormy night in the middle of Texas. But first of all, into Iowa and Minnesota. Not a lot of warnings here, but we have seen a lot of tornado warnings in west central Minnesota in particular. I'm going to zoom on in. You notice there's a big cluster of lightning that's now driving up towards I-94 west of the Twin Cities. In fact, we are now seeing within this cluster 1,600 strikes in the last 15 minutes. A highly electrical storm now moving up into St. Cloud and the areas a little farther south of that. Now, there's a look at the storm that's coming up into St. Cloud right now that had been warned on for a tornado. I want to show you what the velocity signature looked like earlier, and you'll see how good this radar can be. We'll zoom back towards Kimball right in there, and you see how that little area of orange and blue is right up next to each other there. That is a tornado vortex signature. And sure enough, a couple of scans later, there's a report of the tornado in Kimball right there. Did cause some damage not very far away from Kimball. But it does appear that at least for now, the storms are settling down just a bit. Now, much farther south, down into Texas, you have this big string of storms, and this is going to develop into a line of storms that will come down across 35 and 45 overnight and early tomorrow morning. Warnings now west of into San Angelo, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind is the concern there. Variously, we've had concern about larger hail in the northern part of the state, golf ball size hail, maybe even larger. There's a warning right now for Abilene in Callahan and Jones and Taylor counties, and these cells moving east at about 25 miles per hour. Now, they're dumping a lot of very heavy rain. This is good in a sense because it's really getting us out of the drought in Texas. But of course, with that comes a flash flood threat. We have had now between Abilene and Albany as much as 3 inches of rain in the last 3 hours. And with more storms coming in, we certainly could see a flash flood threat developing overnight tonight. Shackelford County under warning right now. That is near Albany, and the concern is going to be large hail and damaging wind that's going to come into Moran, maybe ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind. And then a little farther east, looking at Breckenridge right now, have a warning here for possibility of ping pong ball size hail again and 60-mile-per-hour wind. And again, all of these storms are going to congeal into a big line and slowly make their way across North Texas in the central part of the state. So that should bring the storms into Fort Worth sometime after midnight tonight local time, and then perhaps into Arlington around 1:23. Certainly could be wind damage. We're not expecting as much of a tornado threat across North Texas tonight, which is not to say that it couldn't happen, but we expect more of a wind damage threat and some very heavy rain dropping into this area very late tonight. So here's the larger feature. There's a great big swirl in the atmosphere, and then within that, a smaller one that was really the trigger for the severe weather coming out into the southern plains. And all of that is going to migrate up into the Midwest today. Now, today and tonight. So what's going to happen is that we'll find that severe weather threat area shifting into the western lakes and into the middle Mississippi Valley. And it will still extend down into the southern plains. But most of the dynamics, the area where we see a lot of wind shear, you've got low-level winds at a certain speed, and then you've got mid-level winds at a much faster speed and coming out of a different direction. That creates vorticity or spin in the atmosphere, and for that reason, we are likely to see rotating storms tomorrow, primarily here in the Mississippi Valley and the Midwest. So here's the area of concern for severe weather. Farther south, there certainly could be more severe weather in the southern plains, but it's going to be more of a wind and hail threat, not as much of a tornado threat. And the tornado threat is going to be more towards the Midwest. So Torcon values up to 5 now, centered around Wisconsin, Illinois, and Minnesota. That means you in the Twin Cities, in Madison, in Chicago, and eastern Missouri. We've got a 4 out of 10. So another very big day for severe weather tomorrow. What do you think? Alex, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Carl. We'll take a look at this. Kansas City, you're at a professional soccer match and the fans taking cover. Scary, ominous clouds overhead. Now this line has moved east where the severe threat is now, but yet not out of the woods because there is another line to the west of KC that has yet to move into the city. This line, this picture, those storms now are east in the eastern portions of the city. So to the northeast we go. Carl talked about the threat for tomorrow. 20 million people impacted, especially in, of course, the Midwest, Chicago and Minneapolis. But we're going to watch these storms move into the northeast as we head to next week. Not with the exact amount of punch we're seeing now, but still we could see it. All right, here's New York. On Tuesday, this is when the storms come in, hit or miss through the afternoon and evening. Again, it doesn't look like a tornado threat, but the heat is there. Look at these temperatures for tomorrow. Above average temperatures between about 5 and 15 degrees above average. So after this cold and snowy winter in Albany and Syracuse, you can see we've got some very warm temperatures. Syracuse, 16 degrees above average as we head toward Monday. And then even into Tuesday, temperatures are warm, all that moisture coming in from the Gulf, and now the atmosphere getting ready once again in the northeast. But you can see not as severe as what we're seeing today and tomorrow and what will happen into the Midwest. But still, showers and thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday making its way to Bangor, Maine, to New York. So flying or driving on Tuesday, kind of Tuesday is your day here in the big cities. Boston to New York. Again, not with the severe component it looks like at this point, but Washington, D.C. as well. Storms moving towards you. Sunday, tomorrow, some afternoon thunderstorms. Monday and Tuesday as well. Tuesday, just spotty storms. It looks though Monday in the mid-Atlantic will be your day. But again, showers and storms moving eastward into Pittsburgh as well. Sunday, Monday, some morning storms on Tuesday. So a lot of storms, of course, very severe tonight and into tomorrow. And we are tracking, of course, this nighttime, overnight severe weather threat, rain-wrapped tornadoes all the way from Texas to Oklahoma and north into Minnesota. Of course, we are watching the watches and warnings. You can too, at home or online at weather.com and on your mobile devices as well. We'll be here keeping you safe as long as this tornado threat remains tonight. We're back right after the break. Don't go away.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hankook Tires.
Hankook Tire. Be one with the road, no matter the conditions.
Had a headache, but now I don't. Excedrin is fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin.
Wow, that was fast.
This programming was brought to you by the makers of Excedrin Extra Strength. Wow, that was fast.
The latest Dyson cordless vacuums generate more suction than all other stick vacuums to clean your entire home, top to bottom.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. the XC60 crossover from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo XC60 today. Visit your local Volvo showroom for details.
It's nearly Memorial Day, so hurry into Lowe's for these great deals, like up to 30% off select major appliances, $396 and more. Plus, select perennials now 3 for $10. So before this Memorial Day, come to Lowe's and enjoy special savings.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
Come over here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Fat Guys in the Woods, new season June 7th on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back. Here's a look at the storm reports that we have seen for tonight. And boy, we've got tornadoes, wind damage, as well as hail with the very latest. Here's Dr. Greg Forbes. Greg?
And indeed, it has been. We've had 23 tornado reports already today, and you see those in the you saw those in the red dots in the graphic there. And we still have tornadoes in progress. Taking a look here, we still have this big spinning counterclockwise upper low with a huge line of thunderstorms now that show up in this purple and blue tops there, all the way from around Wichita down into the San Angelo, Texas area. In the midst of that, right in central Oklahoma, now down and toward the Red River, we have tornado warnings. Taking a look here, now there's not one but two tornado warned storms in the areas east of Oklahoma City, and then a storm that's down along the Red River, the Texas-Oklahoma border area that we've been watching for some time. So let's take a look at these tornado warned storms east of Oklahoma City. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Oklahoma City proper, but I need to slide that. The storms move so fast. Uh-oh, what happened there? The storms move so fast that they can get out of picture here. So let me pull this back so that we get the tornado warning for the northern of the storms. Is Lincoln, Pottawatomie, and Seminole counties there off to the east of Shawnee. That storm is moving north at about 40 miles per hour. It's going quick. It is past the Johnson area. It's up near Prague and heading toward the Sparks area as it rolls to the north there. So dangerous storm there. And then here's the next storm, the newly warned storm in Seminole County. It too just flying to the north. Most of the storms we have been watching earlier today were storms that were coming eastbound. So this one right now near Bow Legs, Oklahoma, heading up towards Seminole, the community of Seminole, about 9:24. Taking a look then in the high definition radar, even there it's moving so quickly that I have to readjust the movement. Look how the storm has a well-defined hook that wraps out, and so the tornado would be near in that hook area heading toward the Prague, Oklahoma area. Let's take a look at the velocities on that one. It's kind of a broad rotation. The green's northbound, the red south and eastbound, so could be a tornado coming toward the Prague area. I'll go back here and take a look. This is Doppler indicated, and you see the broad rotation that is a part of what's forming that hook echo. While I have the high definition radar up, I'll look at the southern of the two storms. That's the one that's down near the interesting name of community of Bow Legs, and see there that we have several spirals coming out, maybe trying to form a hook into there. That's a little bit of a complicated picture. Looks like mostly what we're seeing here is a gust front that's coming eastbound. The inflow and the strong southeast winds are coming northbound, so the possibility of a tornado coming through there, but this one too is still Doppler indicated. We'll zoom back into the normal way. We look at this and see that storms are blasting the way now across Oklahoma City with warnings for damaging winds and some hail, Canadian, Grady, McLean counties, and lots of lightning with these storms. There are tremendous amounts of lightning, 749 strikes, in fact, in this part of the line in the past 15 minutes. Then we head down to the south, Garvin, Grady, and Stephen counties with severe thunderstorm warnings that earlier had been tornado warned, but now down right along the Red River, the Texas-Oklahoma border, Cotton, Jefferson, and Stevens counties with a tornado warning. Very complicated. It's trying to gust out. The tornado would be right at the juncture there where this little line comes southbound, right in this general area heading toward Waurika about 9:20, Ringling about 9:49. Going to the high definition radar on this one, again, take a look here. The storm has a little bit of a jog in appearance there, and that's where, if we take a look at the velocities, we're likely to find the possibility of tornadoes. Looks like mostly the storm trying to gust out now with strong winds coming east of Byers toward the Eureka area, and greens flow this way. So not a real well-defined tornado circulation on this one. The storm's becoming high precipitation and tending to gust themselves out pretty quickly. Looking up in northern Oklahoma, we have severe thunderstorms coming across the Osage County, much of area up around Ponca City. Not severe east of Wichita, but a lot of thunderstorms round after round could be flooding there. And just to the east, northeast of Kansas City, now in Clay, Clinton, and Ray County, Missouri, severe thunderstorm warning there, and a lot of lightning, Alexander, coming across the Kansas City metro area. So a stormy night, and certainly not done yet with the severe weather and the tornado threat.
750 strikes in 15 minutes, right? Unbelievable. All right, 8 reported tornadoes thus far, and certainly a lot of the night left. You know, more than 24 million of you are under the threat for severe weather today and also to tomorrow. The question is, do you know where to go when there's severe weather and it strikes? We're seeing it tonight. Do you know where to go? Well, here's Mark Elliott. He's going to show us the safest place to go to seek shelter.
When you're under a tornado warning or you hear a tornado siren, and especially if you can see that tornado, now is not the time to grab that smartphone and start filming. Instead, it's time to get inside and seek shelter. You run inside to seek shelter from the storm and come up to your bedroom, which normally is pretty safe, until, of course, a tree crashes through your roof. Coming down to a lower level, great idea. Trying to see where the storm is outside those windows, bad idea. It was a good idea to leave the windows, but this exterior wall doesn't help you as much as you might think. No, tree limbs or 2x4s, they're like toothpicks when winds get as fierce as in these storms. Yes, your garage is on ground level and has 4 sides. No, it isn't going to protect you the way you want it to. So this is where you do want to be. Not only a low level, but the lowest level you've got. And you want to put as many walls between you and the storm as possible. And then you stay here until it's safe. Because this room could be the one thing that saves your life.
Wow, pretty dramatic package, right? Wow, what a story. But it's so true. You know, you think you're safe somewhere. We've seen people today out on underpasses or in garages, and that is certainly not the place. All right, so Torcon, this is Dr. Greg Forbes, and, you know, we have had a 7 today. 7, all you need to know is 70%. That's a big, big number. So the Torcon defined, if it's a 4, 40% chance within a 50-mile radius of seeing a tornado, and that is a big number. But we have 7s on the map for tonight, and we'll talk about and delineate really where exactly. But Oklahoma, certainly most under the gun. So you know, if your number is in an area, it's 4, it's a 40% chance within 50 miles. It's a 6, 60% chance within 50 miles. Straight line winds as well. We're seeing a lot of that. Let me show you exactly how that happens. This dry air aloft, it pushes eastward. This rain evaporates into the dry air. It cools it and it drops, and then this heavier air plunges down, and in essence it is just kind of a wall of wind that pushes ahead of the storm. And so straight line winds, we talk about damage. Was it a tornado or was it straight line winds? And you certainly can see how that can happen. And we certainly could see that tonight as well as the tornado threat. So stay with us. Of course, we'll continue to bring you the very latest on these severe storms we've got, and boy, what a threat tonight for 24 million people.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 76. Chance of rain 50%. Sunday, scattered thunderstorms. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Sunday night, partly cloudy. Low 75. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's nearly Memorial Day, so hurry into Lowe's for these great deals, like $10 off select deck and concrete resurfacers via online or mail-in rebate, plus 10% off composite decking. So before this Memorial Day, come to Lowe's and enjoy special savings.
To you, they're more than just a pet, so protect them with Canine Advantix 2. Its broad spectrum protection kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, too. Canine Advantix 2, for the love of dog.
The ultimate do-over for wood and concrete. Don't replace, resurface. Behr Premium Deck Over, exclusively at the Home Depot.
Capri Sun, with no high fructose corn syrup and no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. Those are your rules. Their rules?
There's 5 people who are it. You gotta hit the target. You can go over or under.
Let them figure them out. Everything they love, and now with no high fructose corn syrup.
Guys, I found 10th base!
Capri Sun, go ahead. Let them push play.
From the very start, I wanted Fitcore to be different. If you come to me, it's because you want to do what I do, because I don't do what other people do. It's kind of like creating a brand for myself.
Your business is unique. Your marketing should be too. With Vistaprint, it will be. Put your personal touch on 500 business cards starting at just $9.99. Just enter promo code TV500 at Vistaprint.com.
Stay true to yourself. You can do this how you want to do it, and somebody else is going to think that's awesome and want to do it that way too.
Vistaprint.com.
If you're not happy with how your allergy medicine treats your congestion, rethink relief with Nasacort Allergy 24-Hour. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your symptoms, Nasacort stops more, relieving the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion, for 24 hours. It's non-addictive and has no harsh taste, and unlike Flonase, it's scent and alcohol-free. And it's available over the counter at full prescription strength. Rethink your relief with Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable.
We're here to fully get into the nuances of everything that's going on, not just in this country, but around the world. What, as if there were no cameras here, would be the best solution? This goes to the heart of the argument. To tell you the stories that others won't cover. How big do you see this getting? Getting the news from the people who are affected.
People need to demand reform.
We're here to provide the analysis, the context, and the reporting that allows you to make sense of your world.
Ali Velshi on Target, weeknights 10:30 Eastern, only on Al Jazeera America, channel 107.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Let's take a live look right now at Chickasha, Oklahoma. This overnight lightning threat, boy, have we seen it. 700 lightning strikes in about 15 minutes. So torrential rain as well. You know, flash flood guidance only calling for a few inches of rain to flood, and we're certainly going to see that. So from Chickasha all the way to Texas and north to Minnesota, we have had tornadoes and tornado warnings. 8 reported tornadoes thus far tonight. Let's take a look now farther north, and Carl picks it up there.
Hey, Alex, we want to take you up into Minnesota right now, where we had a bunch of severe warnings and tornado warnings earlier today, mostly tornado warnings, actually. And now things are settling down just a little bit. So we'll begin with a look at the broader radar picture and show you what's happening right now. Now, we are seeing one heck of an electrical storm coming up into St. Cloud. This is all right along a warm front, and along that warm front, you've got a real change in the wind direction at the surface, coming from the south of the front, coming from the east, north of the front, and because of those changing wind directions, that's enough to create rotation. So all these cells, as they came up into this area along 94 earlier today, started rotating, but right now they're not as strong and they're not tapping into that change of wind direction quite as much. But again, we've got quite a light show that is now off to the west of the Twin Cities, and you can see generally what's happening right here. This is moving north, but a little east of north as well. And so that's going to take this eventually up into the Twin Cities. We'll get some very heavy rain along with that, and quite a bit of lightning here. In fact, let me go ahead and reset this and do another one. We'll take another look at the lightning, and right now seeing about 1,447 lightning strikes now moving towards 94 and across Route 12. So again, a highly electrical storm near St. Cloud there. Now, much farther south and down into Texas, got a string of warnings near San Angelo. Warning for San Angelo for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind. And then north of that, another warning for Abilene. That's for ping-pong ball-size hail. Some strong wind showing up here, and you can really see this on the Doppler radar. You can see what we see when we're looking at velocity mode. So you've got winds that are coming toward the radar in green and then going away from the radar in red. And right down at the radar site, you can see how this dropped through the area. I'll step forward here, and very strong wind now coming down towards Putnam, could easily be 60 miles per hour or better. And we're also seeing a lot of very heavy rain, which is good because the drought is turning around in Texas. But of course, we don't want flash flooding, and that will be a risk tonight. We've seen a lot of rain in North Texas in the last few weeks. Severe warning now for Callahan, Shackelford counties going until 10 p.m. East of that, you've got another warning for Stevens counties. So these are individual cells right now, but what they're going to do is begin to congeal later tonight, and we're going to watch a big line up, most likely making its way over into Fort Worth. Alex, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Carl. Well, from the Midwest and the Northern Plains, we go to New York. 60 degrees, some light rain in New York City. So walking around, probably hard to catch a cab at this hour, but things will actually only get worse. You know, we are looking at the chance for a stormy early part to the week. So, of course, we're talking about the Northern Plains and the Southern Plains tomorrow. It's really the Midwest, Chicago, Minneapolis getting in on some potentially severe weather. And then New York. It becomes your day on Tuesday. The morning starts out with clouds and showers, and then hit and miss storms throughout the afternoon. So that's when you could see some storms. It doesn't look as though they will be as severe as what we're seeing, but we have all the ingredients. We've got the heat after this incredibly cold and snowy winter in New England and the Northeast. Temperatures 5 to 15 degrees above average. So the heat is there, the moisture all coming up from the Gulf, and of course that front moving eastward. All the ingredients coming together, not so much potentially for rotation, but certainly for some severe weather. So here's a look. Syracuse on Monday, 85, 16 degrees above average. And then tomorrow the storms moved east. You can see Chicago, Indy, all the way down towards St. Louis, Kansas City. You could be in the threat for that. And into Monday, that threat moves eastward. Syracuse, Washington, D.C., Baltimore as well. But again, you'll note there's not that red denoting here of potentially severe, but we'll certainly be watching that with Greg. All right, we are here throughout the night tracking the tornado threat. 23 reports of tornadoes thus far today, 8 within the last few hours. Of course, we're on throughout the night.
Now at Boston Market, new slow braised pulled pork. So tender, it falls apart. Topped with zesty barbecue or garlic citrus sauce. A bold new taste from the slow roasting experts at Boston Market.
6 smoky hours, 1 tasty dish. Slow braised pulled pork, now at Boston Market.
Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. The seal you can trust, with stain and sealer in one, and easy to choose colors. Exceptional beauty and protection have never been easier. Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain, available at the Home Depot.
It's a beautiful day to use Thompson's Water Seal.
Hi.
Hi, we're here to look at a Camry.
Oh, we just came from a birthday party.
Oh, let me get you a new one.
These Camrys are so reliable.
Yeah.
And you gotta love that bold new styling. Here you go.
Whoa.
Wow.
Those balloon towers don't make themselves.
During Toyota time, get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a bold 2015 Camry. Offer ends June 1st. For great deals on other Toyotas, visit Toyota.com.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Jane.
Now you both have Camrys.
Yeah.
Toyota, let's go places.
We all enter this world with a shout.
Robert!
And we see no reason to stop. So CVS Health is creating industry-leading programs and tools that help people stay on medicines as their doctors prescribed. It could help save tens of thousands of lives every year. And that would be something worth shouting about. CVS Health, because health is everything.
Now with a full line of independent rear suspension options, the Foreman, Rubicon, and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda. Now get low fixed financing rates plus up to $500 in bonus bucks during the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
This is Brian. Every day, Brian drives carefully to work.
And every day Brian drives carefully to work, there are rate suckers. He's been paying more for car insurance because of their bad driving for so long, he doesn't even notice them anymore. But one day, Brian gets Snapshot from Progressive. Now, Brian has a rate based on his driving, not theirs. Get Snapshot and see just how much your good driving could save you.
Start the interview with a firm handshake. I know! Don't do that! Try new Head & Shoulders Instant Relief. It cools on contact and also keeps you 100% flake-free. Try new Head & Shoulders Instant Relief for cooling relief in a snap.
Life is a journey. There's a starting point and an ending point. Between these 2 points, we sometimes lose our way. Until the day comes when our travels bring us full circle, returning us to the place where it all started, reminding us why we're on this journey to begin with. Find something more in Illinois.